Alright, so this is Hero of Hyla, also known as Azart. I'm going to be showing off my program mapEdit that I'm working on in Game Maker 7. It's for my game I'm working on called Plague. I decided that the built-in map editor in Game Maker just wasn't good enough for my needs. So instead I'm going to be making my own program called mapEdit, and another one called WorldEdit, which assembles all the maps and adds the things like treasure chests and enemies to them. And then I'm going to have SceneEdit for creating cutscenes and boss battles, and then AdventureEdit for triggering scenes at specific parts of the game. So here's what I have so far on mapEdit. This is the only one I have any progress on. Takes a bit to load because of the way it's set up. So here it is. Help file explains it. Click or drag in the main window to lay tiles. Okay. Press shift to cycle through tiles. Okay. Yeah, you can see the currently selected tile on the right side. Sand, dirt, water, blank, and grass, which was the first one. These are just placeholder tiles. In the final game I'd of course be doing better quality graphics. Scroll with the arrow keys, okay. And exit the help file, I've already figured that out. Space and control to zoom, so let's zoom out. Oh, look at that. And you can still lay tiles at that zoom. Control to zoom in. Yep, there's that. Save project. And let's then mess with it a bit. Like, oh whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So let's load the project. And I opened the wrong one, oops. But it's that one, but yeah. So there it is. Saving and loading works. So just starting a new project. Little problem right now if you have it zoomed out when you start when you start a new project, you have to do a little, like, it takes a little bit for it to reappear. You have to really wind up minimizing it and reopening it. Eventually there will be visual tile selection over to the right, so you don't have to keep pressing shift to switch through all the tiles. You can have up to 256 tiles in the tile set. Well, 255, and then the first tile needs to be a blank one. And you won't have to define room size beforehand, because what happens is when you click the export button, which will be up on the top, it'll ask you to define where the top left and bottom right corners of the map are, and it'll just use that region when it exports. And then after it exports it as a 256 color grayscale bitmap, where each pixel represents one tile in the tile set. And based on the color, it knows what tile ID to use from the tile set. And then you import that into WorldEdit and define what tile set to really use, whether to just use the standard collisions for the tile set or define special collision checking for the map, and lay all the enemies and stuff. You can have multiple different versions of each map in WorldEdit depending on the chapter of the game. This makes it easy to have different levels of encounters depending on where you are in the story. Okay, that's just a little preview on the show of what I was working on. That's it. Bye.